Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Melissa and I'm so happy that you're here today. Since the world is opening back up slowly but surely, my life's not changing, but that's because I have a few autoimmune diseases. But I thought it would be an interesting video to go through a everyday office makeup look. Everything that I'm using minus one product is very affordable and it's almost all drugstore. So these are my favorite products to wear when I'm going to the office. So let's just get started. My favorite primer right now is the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. This is one that I actually tried once I was in quarantine, so I haven't actually worn it to the office. However, I will when I go back. I really just like how tacky it gets and how it really grips onto the products, and I think it really just is so good. I like to cover up what is left of my acne after my month-long experience on all of my makeup products. I just like to dab a little bit of concealer on my cheeks like so. And right now I'm loving on the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in 10 Fair, which is basically pale. And then I just wet a quick sponge. This is just a Real Technique sponge, super affordable. And I'm gonna blend that in just a little bit just to start the coverage process. Then on my palette here that's clean but looks very dirty, I'm going to do one pump of the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer in the shade Pale. I used Fair 3W, and my all-time favorite foundation from the drugstore, which is the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear in the shade 405, and I do a pump to start, but I believe I usually use 2 at the end of the day. Another quick spritz of the sponge, and then I really just marry them together right on my sponge, and then I start applying it right to the face. I love the dewy luminosity that these two products give me on my skin. Recently, I've really been loving on the Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation, and that's just a little bit more expensive, and I wanted to do a full face of products that you could get for a decent price. I'm not trying to encourage a lot of spending. You know, we're in a weird place right now with the world opening up, but cases are still very prevalent, so I wanted to be mindful of that. Plus, I'm very over like spending a ton of money on makeup. And there we have it. So I don't like a ton of coverage for every day because I just don't feel like it's practical. I feel like I can get enough of what I need from a light layer of foundation with a tinted moisturizer, and I'm good to go for the office. For powder, I'm going to lightly dust Maybelline Fit Me in 05 Fair, and I'm lightly going to pat that in all over the skin, and it's just going to blur everything for me. So that is really where I find most coverage. It's in the covering of the red and the blemishes, but it's also in the blurring that if you pick the right powder, you'll get. And this is the right powder for that. When it comes to contouring and bronzing, I don't do a lot for the office. I really just keep it light. So for that, I'm going to go in with my Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula and a fan brush. If you've been following me, you know I like to use fan brushes for bronzer. Tap off the excess, and I literally just put it right here, from like here to here. I don't do a lot. I do it really lightly just to kind of define that hollow spot in my cheek that through snacking and quarantine life is starting to not be so hollow. And then I lightly go up on the forehead. Nothing crazy, nothing real contouring, because like you're going to the office. Now, if full face of makeup and like contouring and whatnot is your jam, my dear, you go for it. It's just not practical for me because I like to sleep and I have to walk 2 dogs, get them fed, make coffee, get myself ready for work, and like it's just not practical for me to spend that much time in the morning doing my makeup. Plus, I really feel like no matter what you do, the like lights in an office building, it's not worth it. So I go in with my powder brush now and I just buff out and make sure all of my edges of that bronzer are nice and soft. It really will blend your bronzer away, so it takes practice to get the perfect shade and light combination. So for me, you're seeing it on camera as I can see in the monitor, but in person, it really doesn't look like I'm even wearing bronzer because it's so light and it's such a nice light sun-kissed. The objective of this is to be as natural as possible. My favorite blush of all time is this ColourPop blush. It is Why Hello. I'm obsessed with it. I'm almost gonna hit pan on it. I love it. When I go to the office, this is my blush. I keep it up in my bathroom upstairs. It is my favorite blush ever, and it's just so beautiful. So for blush, I really just start right here and I lightly tap it on with an angled brush. This is the Ulta Black Widow collection, and I'm obsessed with this blush brush. And I really just lightly tap this starting from my hairline all the way down, pretty much on top of that, the top half of that bronzer. It really marries the two products together and it just gives me such a nice healthy blush. So good. Once again, I'm going to go in with my powder brush and just pat that in because I also don't want a streak of blush on my face because so many times I have done my makeup, gone to the office, used the restroom, washed my hands, looked up in the mirror and said, oh dear God, what is on my face? I changed my mind on the highlighter, so I'm actually going to stay with the affordable range. I'm going to use Patted Down by ColourPop. This is a build your own palette. I made a ColourPop. I use these darker foundations sometimes as bronzer because I don't have time. And this is a beautiful palette that I can travel with if I'm going to visit family or anything like that. I can bring this. I have bronzer, blush, and highlight all together. I have options, and it's not expensive. So I'm going to go in with that Patted Down shade, which is the Champagne shade, which again, if you've been following me, you know I'm obsessed with Champagne shade highlighters. And I am lightly going to dust that right over with an an E61 from Morphe. I'm going to bring it up a little bit. I don't like to do that too much with these highlighters because there is a shimmer to them. And like, I'm not about that life. But I do just really put it right here. I like do this weird motion with my brush, and then I lightly bring it with an extremely light hand up to my forehead just to make sure that when the light hits me, I'm glowing. My favorite neutral palette on the affordable side is the ColourPop Bare Necessities palette. It is just a dream. This is the palette you're going to see me take on holiday, visiting family, going to see my mother-in-law. I don't want to have to spend a lot of time doing my makeup. I want to spend a lot of time with her because that's why I'm there. This is the palette I'm going to go for. So in an effort to make this an office-friendly look, we're going to go very natural, neutral, and I'm just going to take a brown, I'm probably going to take this Tabloid shade right here, and a big fluffy blender. You guys know I adore my blenders. They are my favorite eye brushes of all time. I actually do have an entire thing of blender brushes. Like, those are all considered blenders to me, and I'm not ashamed. So I'm just lightly going to first pat on this brown to make sure that I don't get anything where I don't want it by doing windshield wiper motions or circular motions, and I'm just lightly putting that brown there. Building it up. That's why I love ColourPop, because they're affordable, they're good quality, and they're buildable. I have used ColourPop in my foundation concoction, my blush, my highlight, and now my eyes. So I've patted the color on. I'm going to take a dry blender. You do not have to use two different brushes for this. You can accomplish the same goal using one brush. There are plenty of people that only use one, and that's okay. just going to take a dry blender and really go in with that circular motion, or windshield wiper motion, which is what my brain wanted to say, and just really blend it out. So a lot of people are like, I hear all of this talk about blending. All blending is taking your time and just making sure you don't have like this weird streak of color and it's nice and soft. I picked a brown. I'm gonna pick a really nice, I love this Silk Teddy in here, like as you can tell, I don't know if you can tell, but this shade right here, like my palette's all messed up from it because I like dig in there and I get in there. Always gonna use my index finger for this, which is why I almost never have long nails. Tilt my head back and I'm gonna pat that shade right on my lid. Again, it's the shade called Silk Teddy. I feel like every time I use this palette, I'm like, why did they name it that way? It's because I feel very awkward saying, I'm using Silk Teddy on my eyelid when I'm filming. But that's really a me problem and not a ColourPop problem. I also feel weird saying like other things with other brands too, just because, I don't know, I just feel weird. Okay, so that shimmer's on my lid. I'm going to take the brush that I had, the brown, that big fluffy blender, and I am just going to move it this way, like bring the product this way to marry everything together. Not adding any more to the brush. As you can see, it really just gives a nice gradient effect. We're done. That's all I do in the morning. When I go to the office, sometimes this is even a little bit heavier than what I usually do. You can also just use a bronzer, put something in your crease, throw a liner on, mascara, and walk out the door. Like, you do not have to do all of this, but this is what I do. I have to have eyeshadow on. It's like my favorite part. Liner's pretty simple. I go in with a pen felt tip. Oh, this is waterproof? I never knew that. I think this is felt tip. I don't really know. But I like this one. This one's the NYX Epic Ink Liner. I'm going to draw a very thin liner in the middle, and as I get outside, I'm going to go thicker. And it gives the illusion that your eye is pulled up a little bit more without doing a full wing or cat eye, because I don't have time for that in the morning or ever. My all-time favorite mascara right now is the Benefit Roller Lash. I love this one. I feel like it really, really gives me nice lift and curl. And it really just does the work, because I'm not one of those girls that's going to wear false lashes to the office. And if you don't see my eyelashes on top of my eyeliner, like, I don't care. It's another one of those, if someone's like, where are your eyelashes? They're not over your eyeliner. Like, too close, bye, see you later. You are not 6 feet away from me. Because even if the world's opening up, we all need to stay 6 feet away from each other, wear your mask. I'm totally going to show you how I do my lipstick for work, even though you're going to wear a mask right now and it doesn't matter. But I would still probably put lipstick on for work. So I was like thinking, I'm sitting here, I'm like, I could change it up. I could do something different for lips, but then I'm really not doing what I do for work, which is like the same thing all the time, and it's my favorite lip liner, which I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing about. It's the BFF Lippy Pencil from ColourPop. I'm not going to continue to gush about it. Y'all know it's my favorite. I'm obsessed with it, and that's it. And my Maybelline Daringly Nude lipstick, it's just so good. And this is really what I look like when I go to work. It looks just nice and natural. I mean, the shimmer on the lid's not very natural, but it's just nice and simple. You don't have to overcomplicate it. And please, 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 I've said it before, I'll say it again, you don't have to do all of the 1,000 steps. Now, I did a lot, but you don't have to do the thousands of steps that the beauty gurus are doing on their YouTube channels, because I promise you, you're gonna look like not good in person. The reason that they do all of those steps and all of those things is to look good in pictures, on you know, at events, in front of all of these lights. I have a lot of lights, and like, if you look at me naturally in person, you see my freckles, you see the skin, you see skin. And like, that's what I want from a makeup for an everyday look, especially going to the office, because A, nobody cares, and B, I just need a little bit of extra oomph to feel confident, and that's all you need. You don't have to do all of these steps to feel, if that's what you have to do to feel beautiful or to feel confident, please, by all means, you do you, boo. But don't feel like you have to. I guess that's what I'm saying. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. This was just an nice, easy, affordable, full face of office-friendly makeup. Blend, 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 because you don't want to be that girl in the bathroom who washes her hands and looks up and you can't fix it because all of your stuff's at home. I have a lot of fun and exciting videos planned, so you definitely want to make sure you're subscribed to my channel, ring the bell for notifications so that you never miss an upload. If you enjoyed this, definitely give it a thumbs up, and I will see you on the next one, guys. Bye.